Hello students, today we are going to start chapter 2 measurement for class 6th physics. Measurement, as the word says measurement, you know that it is a process of comparing an object with a standard unit of measurement. Example is given like you go to purchase some cloth to a cloth shop for your school uniform or your any dress. The person there standing will ask you your measurements. Accordingly, he will show you. And if he will not tell the correct measurements, the dress will not be of your length, will not fit into your body. So what was the need of measurement? When we go to a tailor for stitching this school uniform, he takes our measurements by using a measuring tape. The tailor has to make the measurements correctly, like I said, otherwise it will not fit you properly. Now, units of measurement, you have physical quantities, that is your mass, length, time and temperature. Mass, you all know, we measure it by gram, kg, milligram, quintal. We'll read it. Then you have length. Length will go for meter, centimeter, millimeter, kilometer. All these symbols are SI units. Then you have time. For time you have minutes, hour, second. Then temperature, you have degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin are the examples of physical quantities. Now let's see what was the need of standard units of measurement. In olden days, what happened? People were using these techniques. That means they were using handspan. Handspan is one handspan stands for your thumb to the little finger. This will be your one handspan. Then you had forearm length, you had footstep, like these they were using. But what was the problem they were facing is, as you know, everybody is having different handspan length, different footstep. Your hand will be small, my hand will be big. So in such cases, we are not able to get the exact measurement. So the standard unit of measurement was invented. So unit of measurement which has a fixed value is known as standard unit of measurement, and it is necessary to have it for the sake of uniformity in measurements. SI units, let's read this. In order to have a uniformity in the measurement of various physical quantities like length, mass and time, scientists all over the world have adopted international system of units. The units of this system are called SI units. It is the short form of the French name Système International des Units. We can now say that the SI units are the standard unit of measurement which are used in all countries of the world. The symbol of meter is small m. Okay, it is small m. One sample of standard meter is kept at the National Physical Laboratory in New Delhi. The meter measure used everywhere in our country is an exact copy. That means one sample of standard meter is kept in the laboratory, and what we are using it are all the copies. Now let's see, the result of every measurement consists of two parts. Like this is written 2 meter. So what is there? One is your number 2, that is your magnitude, and the other one will tell you what is the unit of measurement used. If suppose I'll tell you 20 kg, that means 20 is the magnitude and kg is the unit of measurement. This is a table in which you have quantities given. You have their SI units, name and symbol. Length, the SI unit meter, small m. Mass, kilogram, kg. Time, second, small s. Temperature, Kelvin, capital K. Now here are following rules which are to be followed while writing SI units and their symbols. The first one is we never write S at the last. Like if it is written 10 kg, 10 kilometer, 40 kilometer, you will not say kilometers. You don't add S at the last. Okay, you will never add S at the last for any unit of measurement. Then you have abbreviations. You never use abbreviation, that is, in the abbreviations you never use full stop. When I'll say kg, I will not write kg dot. If I'm writing small m, I'm not putting m dot. I will always write only the unit, no abbreviations. Third is you have to leave a space between the number and the unit of measurement. Then you have the name of the units derived from people's name are written in small letters. If you are writing the name of the symbol, that is, suppose Joule is written, Newton is written, so you will write in small letters. But whereas if you are writing the symbols, if it has been the symbol of units derived from people's name are written in capital letters. That means Joule, the symbol of Joule is written as capital J. The symbol of Newton is written as capital N. Then you have the sign of degree. In degree Celsius and in degree Fahrenheit, you use this sign. But in Kelvin, you don't use it. You only write capital K. Like it is written here, 273 K. You not write like this. There are some prefixes which are used. They are kilometer, that is 1 kilo, it stands for 1000. You have hecto, it stands for 100. You have deca, it stands for 10. You have deci, it is 1 by 10. You have centi, it is 1 by 100. You have milli, which is 1 by 1000. Now let's see this numerical. After we see this, I'll explain you how to solve these numericals. The first one is the height of a person is given to be 1.65 meter and they are asking you to express in centimeter and millimeter. First you will write what is given, that is the height is given of a person, that is 1.65 meter. Then you will write the relationship between the meter and in which you have to express, that is centimeter. You know 1 meter is 100 centimeter. So you will write that and then you will multiply it. You will multiply this because you are converting bigger to smaller. If you convert bigger to smaller unit, you will multiply. If you are converting smaller to bigger, you will divide. So in this way, they have multiplied it and the answer is 165 centimeter. In this case, they have converted the height of 1.65 meter to millimeter. So they have written 1 meter is 1000 millimeter. So that is, they have multiplied it by 1000 and the answer is 1650 millimeter. Now let's see the first numerical, that is the height of a person is 1.09 meter and you have to express it in centimeter. What you will do is, first you will write the given statement, that is height of a person. How much it is? It is 1.09 meter and they are asking you to convert it into centimeter. That means meter has to be converted into centimeter. So in this case, you will write the relationship between meter and centimeter. You know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter and you are converting meter to centimeter, so you will multiply it. That means 1.09 multiplied by 100 will give you the answer in centimeter. Now let's see the next question. The distance between Radha's home and her school is 3250 meter. You have to express it in kilometers. So you have the data, the distance in 3250 meter. The distance is in meter, you have to convert meter into kilometer. You have the relationship 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter. So what you will do now? Now you are converting meter to kilometer. That means you are converting smaller unit to bigger unit. So you will divide. That means 3250 divided by 1000. So what will be the answer? 3.25 kilometer will be the answer. Let's see one more example. If the question given is 128 centimeter and you are asked to convert it into millimeter. Okay, so you know that 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. So what you will do? You are going to multiply by 10. That means 128 into 10 will give you 1280 millimeter. In this way, you have to solve the numericals. For converting meter to centimeter, you have multiplied by 100. For converting meter to kilometer, you have to divide because it is smaller to bigger. And again, centimeter to millimeter, that means bigger to smaller, you have multiplied. Now let's see about different length measuring units. The first one is meter. You all know that meter is a standard unit of length. But sometimes other units of length like centimeter, millimeter and kilometer are used for the sake of convenience. Like if you want to use a smaller unit for measuring pencil, for eraser, you will say it in centimeter. When you will be asked to measure the thickness of your hair, of a coin, you will use millimeter. If a pencil and a notebook is given, again you can say it that it has smaller length which is smaller than meter also, so in that cases we'll use centimeter. All these things are given in these points. Now let's see this. There is a distance between two villages. So the distance between two villages is actually a very large distance. So that is inconvenient to express in meters. Okay, so in such cases we will use large distances, that is kilometer. And we have already read this, that 1 kilometer is 1000 meter. Now let's see the length measuring devices. There are length measuring devices which are your meter scale or rulers and your measuring tape. You have seen meter scale, rulers, you know, you have it in your house, you use it. And you have measuring tape if your mother stitches clothes, or if you have went to a tailor for giving measurement of your uniform, of your dress, they use a measuring tape. And with the help of measuring tape, they will measure your body measurement. Now the rulers are made of plastic, wood or metal and also cannot bend. They cannot bend. That means if I will give you a circular object and I will ask you to measure its length, you will not be able to do it. That means scale, rulers, measuring, meter scale, all these things cannot be used on curved objects. These can only be used in straight objects. If the object is straight, we can use either a meter scale or a measuring tape to measure its length. For example, length of a table. A cloth merchant uses a meter rod for measuring cloth. But whereas if the object is round, as I said before, then we have to use a measuring tape for making measurements of length. For example, the girth of a tree can be measured only by using a measuring tape because it's round, and its measuring tape can also be bent also around the tree. The tailor also measures a chest and waist by using a measuring tape. Can he use a scale to measure your body waist, your waist, your chest? No. That is why they use a measuring tape. The picture is given here, measuring length of objects by different types of measuring tapes. You can see here, this is a measuring tape, but this one is usually used by carpenters, and this is your cloth one, which is used by tailors. A meter scale is very long and hence it is inconvenient to use for measuring short lengths in our school work. That is why you use ruler. A ruler is a short scale marked in centimeters and millimeters. You have two types of scale, like the one which I have. This is your 30 centimeter scale. You can see it is starting from 0 and it is ending to 30 centimeter. You have the short scale that is still 15 centimeter, that also you might be having. Then if you see these divisions, like we have taken the scale, so let me explain you. This is a scale, this is a 30 centimeter scale. When you see this, from 1 centimeter, if you see from 0 to 1, this is 1 centimeter length, and if you see there are small divisions. Can you see it? The big one, not the big one, the small divisions inside. This is the reading of millimeter. That means 1 centimeter. This particular 1 centimeter will have 10 mm, 10 millimeter. You have 10 smaller divisions. The middle one is your 5, 0.5. Again, it has here 1.5, 2.5, like this. Now let's see how to measure the length of an object. Now how to measure it, you all know. What you do is, first you take the scale like this is shown in the picture. You will put it in the sheet parallel to it. You cannot put it like this. You cannot put it like this. You have to put it parallel to the sheet or the object being measured. This was the first precaution which I have explained you. Now let's see the other one. Okay. Second one is, while reading the scale, the eye must be placed vertically above the scale mark being read. If the eye is not vertically above the scale mark being read, then the reading becomes wrong. That means if I want to measure this length of the card, I have put the starting point here and the ending point here. This is coming to 4 it is coming to 4.2 or 4.3 centimeter. Okay, so if I see it from the vertically upward position, I will get the correct reading. But if I see bending this side, that is B position, or bending this side, that is C position, I will get the wrong reading. So your next precaution is that you have to always keep your head eye vertical above the scale in which you have to read the marking. The third important one is, if you have a scale, okay, like this, if I have a scale, and in some cases if you have used your scale more often, what happens is either it will get scratch or something, it will be these readings will not be there, some mistakes will be there, it might not be clear, these black print is rubbed off, or it is broken from some end. So in that cases, what you have to do, you not throw the scale, you can do one more thing. What you have to do is, if suppose my scale reading, in my scale I don't have till 2, okay, I don't have this much portion, maybe it is rubbed off, maybe it is broken. So what I have to do is, I will take the next number. What is the next number? The next number is 3. So I will take 3 as my starting point now. So if I measure 3 as my starting point, then what will happen? The last point where the measurements objects last point will end, that point will not be the answer. I have to add how much I have left. 1, 2, 3. I have left 3 places, so I have to add 3 places on the right side also to give the correct reading. Now next comes to how to measure the length of a curved line. Now this has been explained by an activity, so let's see what it is. What they have taken is a paper, a marker, a piece of thread and a ruler. What they have done, first they are asking you to draw a curved line AB on a paper. Okay, I'll draw a curved line, then I will take a thread and I will take the starting point of the thread, I will put it in the first corner of the curved line and I will move it till the curved line goes, and at the last point I will keep the thread. Okay, then I will put a marking. I will put a marking on the end point. See, this is a thread. You can see this is a thread. This is a curved line drawn. So when I was putting the thread like from here, then I moved it till here. Then I can put a black marker pen. I can use a marker pen, any color, and I will put it a mark over the thread. Then I can remove that thread off and I can simply straighten that thread. As you know, that thread is flexible, it can move anywhere, it is not hard object, you can easily make it straight and you can put it into a scale and then you can tell the correct reading. That means the length of the thread is equals to length of the curved line. I hope you have understood this. Thank you.